Happy Friday, welcome back to another weekend vlog. If you're new here, hi, I'm Anna. It's almost the weekend. I still have some work left to do, but it's actually my lunch break. I am working from home today and I just got back from walking the dog and I'm about to have lunch, and then I still have a little bit of work to do. It's fine. It's super hot. It's a very hot day. Temperatures are supposed to drop tomorrow. Let's see. I wouldn't mind, to be honest. Priority for the weekend is to finish the Odyssey. Not even for the weekend, but for today or tomorrow, because tomorrow I am going to the cinema to watch the Odyssey. Christopher Nolan's adaptation of the Odyssey. Seeing it in 70mm, I made sure. There's no IMAX theater near me, but at least I get the 70mm experience. And I'm so excited. I know I keep talking about this in every vlog. This will be the last vlog where I talk about it, probably. But yeah, the big day is tomorrow. So I'll probably be reading after I finish work today. Also, I want to go to bed early because I didn't get that much sleep last night. So yeah, I'll just have a cozy reading night and then go to bed early. Tomorrow, as I've said, I'm going to the cinema. I'm going to the gym before going to the cinema. And then on Sunday, I'm meeting my friend Max for a coffee/dog walk because he is dog sitting a dog and we want to walk the dogs together on Sunday, which should be nice. Monday is therapy, hopefully, because she keeps cancelling on me. I'm also meeting my friend Chelsea for a coffee, and yeah, otherwise just normal weekend stuff. I already did the majority of the cleaning today, which is good because that means I get to relax earlier. And yeah, those are my plans for the weekend. Same old, it feels like. But I hope you enjoy following along. Saturday afternoon. I just had lunch and I'm about to leave. I am going to the gym and then I'm going straight to the cinema to watch the Odyssey. I actually finished the book last night and I have to say 10 out of 10 reading experience. I'm so glad that I read it. I'm so glad that I read it before watching the film, well, the new film. I am also quite proud of myself, if that makes sense, because I know that I have a degree in literature And I know I'm capable of reading hard books, but a text that is almost 3,000 years old is a bit intimidating, at least to me. So, yeah, I am proud of myself that I read it. And now I definitely also want to read the Iliad by the same translator, by Emily Wilson, because I loved her translation. And yeah, maybe I can do that next summer. Maybe the Iliad can be my Greek mythology book for summer of 2027. Let's see. The dog needs some assistance to leave the bedroom. Give me a second. Oh, no, she's lying down. Oh, and she's frustrated. Sometimes it's okay to be frustrated. Anyway, I am excited to go see the movie at the cinema. I'm a bit nervous also. Just to see what the adaptation is like. I think I will be quite critical because the text is so fresh in my mind. So I will be able to tell things that Nolan maybe omitted from his adaptation, or just things that maybe were different in the text or whatever. I've seen so many different opinions online already, so yeah, I'm glad that I can form my own opinion today, and not be bombarded with different reviews for days on end and then, I don't know, seeing it next week or something. So I am very excited to go today. But first I'm going to the gym, and that will be good because I feel like I'm quite anxious today in general. Bit overwhelmed, to be honest. So yeah, working out will probably ease my mind a little bit, which is good. All right, I have to leave. I, of course, will tell you what I think about the film. Give you a little review probably tomorrow because I am coming home quite late. So I will talk to you tomorrow. How about a coffee and a chat? I need a coaster. Beagle. Today we're going for the Beagle. He looks a bit rough. All right. I mainly wanted to talk about the Odyssey. That is the film adaptation by Christopher Nolan that I went to see at the cinema last night. I'm not going to be doing a proper review, no in-depth analysis or anything. I just wanted to share what my experience was like. First of all, I had a great time. The going to the cinema experience alone, 10 out of 10. The cinema that I went to, they decorated the entire foyer for the film. It looked amazing. I was running a bit early, and I'm glad I was because I got to look at all the decorations. And I just love when cinemas go all out. Last year we went to the same cinema to watch Jaws, and they projected water onto the walls, and they had this ocean sound going, and there was even a guy in a shark costume. And also now with the Odyssey, when we sat down in the actual theater, they projected the title onto the curtain that was in front of the screen, and they were mimicking an actual thunderstorm with the lighting and the soundscape, and you could see lighting also on the curtain and rain on the curtain, and it was amazing. It got you really hyped up for the movie, I would say, at least for me. I think that's what I enjoyed the most, being part of a hype. I feel like ever since streaming became so popular, you rarely get these moments where everyone is hyped for the same thing. So when a film like this comes out, it makes me very excited. I think it mostly happens with like superhero movies, like Marvel movies, for example. And I'm not really into that. But yeah, for this, I was very much on board. And you could definitely argue that Nolan shot this film like a superhero movie. No, but I loved what he did with the story. There were quite a few changes, especially in the homecoming of Odysseus. And this is not a spoiler. This book has been out for thousands of years. And yeah, I think it's fine to just talk about the story. I won't spoil the actual movie though. No, but there were quite a few changes in the homecoming and all of the revealing parts that are included in his homecoming. And Nolan kind of took specific parts from the text and rearranged them in a certain way to create a certain narrative. I think you could criticize that. For me, it really worked, especially because all of the main plot points that are in the actual story were still there. So it was fun to recognize them and, oh, okay, this is the bow scene and this is da da da. And yeah, that was quite fun. Also, I saw someone say online that Nolan loses his genius whenever a woman comes on screen, and I highly disagree, especially when it comes to Penelope and Cersei. That whole scene was definitely my favorite. I think it also has to do with the fact that I read Cersei by Madeline Miller a few years ago and I loved it. But that scene was, it was so good. People were squirming in their seats, and I was just sitting there with the biggest smile on my face because I love this diva. I love this witch and what she does to these men. The scene at Cersei's house where she turns the soldiers into pigs, and also the scene in the cave with Polyphemus, the Cyclops. Both of these scenes made me want to see a horror movie directed by Christopher Nolan. I read somewhere that he actually took advice on puppetry and how to create monsters from Guillermo del Toro, so it shows. It really shows. These scenes were so good. Um, but also the scream that the Cyclops does when they attack him. I think I will have nightmares about this scene or about the sound because I don't know how they created the sound, but it was so bad. I had a physical reaction. I had to cover my ears. I couldn't stand it. It was so heart wrenching. Oh, speaking of, The Odyssey was probably one of the loudest films I've ever seen. I had to cover my ears several times because it was so loud. We also need to talk about Agamemnon's cunty helmet, the ponytail that morphs into this spine like construction made out of gold. Is it historically accurate? Definitely not. Did he serve? Definitely yes. What else? Maybe a few things that didn't quite work for me. First of all, my biggest problem was that I didn't really see Odysseus. I saw Matt Damon. I had the same problem with Tom Holland. I couldn't really perceive them as their characters. They were just yeah, Tom Holland and Matt Damon. That was a bit of a problem for me. Anne Hathaway, chef's kiss. I was quite sad that Athena was a bit reduced to this guardian angel character because I feel like in the book she's more of the strategist. She's the one who almost plays chess with these humans and places Odysseus in certain situations in order to play out her plan almost. So that was a bit sad. Speaking of sad, I cried 5 times, just so you know. That was my cry count. A few of those cries were brought on by Argos, Odysseus's dog. And if you're sensitive about dogs being treated badly, just know going into the movie that there will be a bit of violence against dogs. That broke my heart. And otherwise, Robert Pattinson does a great job at playing a villain. Such a good portrayal of a villain that you just want to. And I like the way that they focus on him as, yeah, almost as the main villain. Um, or as a representation of all the suitors that are trying to marry Penelope, um, and the way that they behave badly. And yeah, they should travel to Cersei's island. Just saying. Those are my thoughts. They're not super deep, but they're mine. So if you're going to see the Odyssey, let me know in the comments. Are you going to see the Odyssey? And if you've already seen it, did you like it? I might go watch it again. Not gonna lie. Also, it didn't feel like 3 hours. It went by rather quickly. I saw people saying online that it was boring and that there were boring parts throughout the film. I don't agree. I was entertained for 3 hours straight. Yeah, it was the perfect way to wrap up my summer reading of The Odyssey. It almost felt like a little project that I did. And as I've said, next year I will read the Iliad because they were also showing there were so many scenes set during the Trojan War, which I think is described more in the Iliad, right? I hope I'm not talking out of my. But yeah. Oh, one more thing, because I'm just talking about the Trojan War now. The fact that they portrayed Odysseus as a former soldier, as a veteran with PTSD, it makes sense, but also for some reason it's really funny to me. And I have to add this, some of the dialogue that was not taken from the text but written originally was so cringe, especially when it came to the Trojan War. And some of the things that they said. At some point, someone says, I think is it Odysseus? I can't remember, but someone says, our Bronze Age is coming to an end. And I had to laugh so hard at the cinema. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the history lesson. You are the person in history, but still, thank you for giving me the history lesson. Okay, that's it. I also wanted to check in about my current read, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. I just DNF'd this book this morning. It's really boring. I'm sorry. To me, it's really boring. And also, the writing is not that good. The Bronze Age is coming to an end. Yeah, there was so much introduction and exposition in this book that it got quite boring. I think, yeah, maybe it gets better once the actual story starts, but to be honest, I can't be bothered to stay around for that. So I'm DNFing this book. I got it. I got it. It's a library book, so I don't feel too bad because I didn't spend any money. and someone else can now read it, so that's nice. And then I decided to let me get the book. I decided to read this one next, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, because my friend Chelsea told me that it's so good, and I just want to read something that is good. I want to read something that I enjoy and that I feel excited about reading. And to be honest, I think I am a bit hungover from reading The Odyssey, and I miss it. So I need something else that will really catch my attention. I think I might start The God of the Woods now, and then I will have some lunch because afterwards I'm meeting my friend Max and we're going on a dog walk. It has been raining quite heavily, so I hope the weather clears up a little bit. But he's dog sitting this weekend, so we're doing a dog walk. We'll probably get a coffee. And then the rest of the day is just for relaxing. All right, let me get started on a new book and then I'll talk to you later.